So the life cycle of a pickling cucumber hybrid, typically you start off developing the parental lines, and it takes about 3 to 4 years to develop a parental line, depending upon if it's a new trait or if it's an older trait. You want to make sure that you have all the traits that you have that you hope to have in the hybrid in both the parental lines. So then you start making your hybrids. So in 2010 we started making our hybrids, and we looked at about 1,300 different hybrid combinations. And when we go in and screen them, we looked at 2 different locations, 2 reps, and we start looking at yield, we look at fruit quality, we look at disease resistance, in this case downy mildew. If it did not meet the criteria of either yield or fruit quality or downy mildew, it was cut out. So we narrowed it down from 1,400 hybrids to about 120 hybrids. These 120 hybrids went into PCM2 trials with TD in the Midwest. We had them in 4 or 5 locations, and from 120 we reduced them to 18 based on how they performed in multiple locations across the Midwest and in Florida. From those 18, they were in PCM3 trials. We looked at, again, multiple location trials across the Southeast, Midwest, California last year. We looked at yield, we looked at fruit quality, we looked at brining ability, we looked at downy mildew resistance. We had these in university trials at Michigan State and NC State. And based on all these different traits, we narrowed down on 5 that we thought were the top for yield, quality, disease resistance, and brining ability. So now we're down to 5. So it started off with 1,400 and we're down to 5. And all the time we've always been selecting for high yield, better quality, good downy mildew resistance. That's been the criteria all the way. And of course, broad adaptability. You want to have hybrids which perform all the way from Texas to Canada. And that's a pretty big geographic area. So adaptation is very important because we don't have too many hybrids in our portfolio. Expedition, one of our leading hybrids, is grown all the way from Texas to Canada. So that it speaks volumes. It's difficult to come up with products which have that wide adaptability, but that is something that some of our processors demand because they're growing all the way from Texas to the Midwest. So the groundbreakers concept is pretty new in vegetables. It's been around in row crops for a while now. The whole concept of groundbreakers is to get some innovative growers in pickles to come in and look at some of our new products on a commercial scale. So what this does is it gives them first look at some of the new concepts, new hybrids that are coming out from our program, and it gives them a sense of comfort because they're trialing them in their own fields, and they're trialing it in fairly big quantities. You're looking at about 2 to 3 acres, and they're growing it using their own equipment. And so they're getting the results from their own grading shed. And so they feel comfortable about these new hybrids and technology that's coming out because they're actually seeing it on their own farm. So I think it's really, really valuable, and I think it's something that we need to extend, and I'd like to see more of this happening in the future because this is an easy way to convince a grower to really ramp up and buy more seeds if he does like this particular hybrid or the technology.